Hi, Lauryn and Emma.
Hello.
We're at Bristol Vegfest. How are you finding your day?
So good. It's so good. It's amazing. It's so fun. It's just amazing to be in a place where you can eat all the things and not have to worry. And yeah.
And really good to see so many people here as well, and to see that absolute uprising of veganism and acceptance of that. So really good.
So what's the best thing you've seen today?
Best thing I have seen is piles and piles of cupcakes and delicious cookie sandwiches.
Yeah. I loved trying vegan fish and chips. That was quite good. And I loved the duck sushi roll thing. That was amazing.
There's also been lots of really good talks as well.
Yeah.
So like talks about kind of well-being, dietary things, activism, and so lots of awesome things to see.
And so what are your interests and hobbies?
I really like yoga, and I like animal rights and reading and being involved in campaigns and being really activist about that as well. I work as a freelance illustrator as well as working for Lush as well. And I also like going off trekking into nature and feeling the planet that we live on.
Yeah, like when we were driving here, we saw this like
absolutely amazing
hill. This like amazing hill in the distance, and we were like, that is a delish hill.
You've got to relish the world that we live in.
You've got to relish the nature around you. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. My interest, I'm really interested in the way people are represented in the media. I think that we live in like a society that is so contrasting. Like we've got so many different types of people, but when you watch like mainstream media channels, you come across the same representations again and again and again. And I just think that's really like not very good. And the media is such a massive influence on our everyday life. It's shocking that this is the kind of thing that people see and aspire to be, because that's their like portrayal of what success is. So you've got successful celebrities, but they pretty much like all look the same. Like I'm being really general here, but like as a general thing, that's what happens. And the representations of women in the mainstream media are just shocking. I would like say my main interests are like feminism. Like I care a lot about feminism and equal representation for women, equal rights for women. I think like that's like what I care about a lot. I'm also interested in the way like minority groups are represented. I just think it's not very good, and I'd like that to change, and I'd like to be part of that change somehow. In my life.
Do you think veganism is like linked to all them isms?
Oh, definitely, like 100%, like equality.
For sure. And I was like meaning to say like key overarching interest is like DIY punk music, because without the punk music scene I would not be into all of these different aspects either, because it is a gateway to thinking differently and thinking alternatively. Veganism, feminism, all of that is encompassed, and
it all links together.
Without the unity of punk scene I would not be as involved as I am now.
Yeah, like I just like believe in equality for all beings and all people, and it's just such a shame that we live in a patriarchal society, and a society in which like hurting sentient beings is so accepted and normalised. It's not right.
So do you think there's a way for people to understand like the issues that you see yourself, like how to like open up their eyes and see like what's wrong with the world?
Be open-minded, read a lot, watch a lot of films, documentaries. Every time you are consuming something, so whether you're consuming food or whether you're buying clothing or cosmetics, be aware that that is coming from somewhere, and it's touched the lives of many people and many sentient beings. So trying to do as little damage or trying to do no damage and cause no harm is the main aim. But it's about being aware and being educated about your impact.
Yeah, it's also about being the best person that you can be at the time. Like for every person, it might not be 100% possible for some people to be vegan all the time. time, but I think it's just like taking your own personal goals and thinking, what can I do to be a better person? What can I do to be better on this planet? And I think that's what's important. I think if every person really challenged themselves to be the best person they can be, then we'd live in a much nicer and happier world. And I think that's just basically, and also just be always open-minded to learn. Like, I think you can never know everything, and you can never be 100% right all the time. So I just think to be always open for learning from everyone, because everyone's got something like valid to say.
What influenced you to become vegan?
Well, I was vegetarian, and I just kind of thought, like, if I care about animals and I'm vegetarian for the animals, then like it doesn't make sense not to be vegan, because like being vegetarian, like the egg industry, the dairy industry are just as harmful, or if not arguably more so, than the things that happen in like the meat industry, the way animals are treated in the meat industry.
So with the meat industry, there's that end point where the animal dies, but with dairy industry, they're living a life of suffering. So, I was similarly vegetarian for a long time, and then was educated by pals of mine to think about it in the way that it is, if not worse, than the meat industry anyway. So if you're doing it for the animals, vegetarian for the animals, how can you not be vegan?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, why wasn't I? Like, I kind of just think, like, I wish I'd been vegan sooner, but then you think it's a journey, and like not everyone is born into knowing about it. We're born into like ignorance, and you learn as you go on in life. Like, so.
But I love it. It is my favourite life choice.
Yeah.
Best thing I ever did.
Yeah, same. Me too.
That's
I love
cool.
being vegan.
If you had one quick tip to tell everyone how to become vegan, like, what would it be?
I would say, like, find local similarly minded people.
Yeah.
It would be a good step to make if I had to choose one.
Yeah.
And find a local club or a group where you can go and meet up and discuss ideas and be that like little hub of knowledge where you're sharing cooking ideas and information.
It helps to have that support, like, because living in a world where dairy consumption, egg consumption, meat consumption is so normalised. It's so easy for people to, if you're isolated on your own, to just think, oh, well, everyone else is doing it, I may as well do it too. But when you know, like Lauryn was saying, when you know so many people who also do it, you can be like, right, we can do this together. And it's kind of like, you feel like you're part of you're included in something.
Yeah.
So.
That was great, thank you. That was cool.